Hey guys, so we are on to our final step of our factoring. So remember, we'll just go through the process one more time. We start with a polynomial. We simplify, rearrange, and remove the greatest common factor if it needs to be. And what you're going to be left with is either a binomial, a trinomial, or a four-term polynomial. Okay, if it's a binomial, you look for these three types, and if it's one of these, you go ahead and factor it. If it's a trinomial, you check the factor test. If the factor test is a perfect square, then you move on and you go ahead and factor it using backwards FOIL. If it's not a perfect square, you leave it, it's prime, okay? So today we're going to be talking about the last type. If you have a four-term polynomial, meaning it's got four separate parts to it, it's not a trinomial, not a binomial, and so we're going to be using the grouping method. And the good thing about the grouping method is that you've already done it, okay? It's the same part of the backwards FOIL as the grouping part of it. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that. So here are our notes for factoring, and you'll have a copy linked in your Nearpod and also on your Google Classroom. So if you remember, we always start with 3 steps. It's those first 3 steps to simplify, rearrange, and to remove a GCF, okay? Remove that greatest common factor. All right, so there are 3 things that we need to remember about grouping. It's used with a 4-term polynomial, okay? It's the same as the grouping that's done in the backwards FOIL method, okay, that we just did last week. And it's going to factor into 2 binomials. Okay, so it's a 4-term polynomial, same exact grouping process done as before, and it's going to factor into 2 binomials. So there's just a few steps to do this. First thing you're going to do is make sure that it's written in standard form. And so standard form for a 4-term polynomial is ax minus bx plus ay minus by. Okay, that's going to be our standard form for these polynomials. We're going to group the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms, and don't forget to include the signs in that. Then you're going to remove the greatest common factors, and then you're going to separate what you have into 2 binomial factors. And then, as always, you're going to repeat the process if the powers are not 1, and then you're going to prove your answer. Okay, so those are the notes that you need for this. We're going to go ahead and do an example problem in the next video, and then we will go on from there. Okay.